everyone. It's the Tuesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. We've got a lot to cover this evening. As promised, I'm going to do a little review of August and the summer season. We'll talk about September. We'll also talk about the rain that's coming our way over the next 12 to 16 hours, and then how things are going to improve by the end of the week. Let's start with August's numbers. With the month just about finished, we're going to finish about 3.5 degrees warmer than the average. Compared to the average, June and August were both 3 degrees and some change above average. July was the coolest month of the summer season compared to the average, but August definitely finished on a hot note. Ever since the 20th, we've had high temperatures above the average every single day, including a few 88s, a couple of few 89s. You know, we're going to finish the summer season with probably 4 90-degree days. For a hot summer, that's not that many. That's below average, but boy, we clocked in with a number of 89-degree temperatures and some 88s as well, and the higher humidity and the increased rain chances just kind of made it so extreme heat was not that common in August and in the summer as a whole. The big story, of course, in August, the rain. This is going to be the wettest August on record by a fair margin. 9.45 is where we stand. Might see a hundredth, maybe 200ths of an inch out of very late rain this evening, but this should be just about our final number for the month. That's a whopping 6 inches more than average for the month of August, and this is the 6th wettest month of any month on record for our area. So, all right, so summer season by the numbers. Summer, of course, defined as June, July, and August. Meteorological summer, climatological summer. This goes into the record books as the 19th warmest summer on record, nearly identical to last year as far as temperatures are concerned, but the nights compared to average were much warmer than the days compared to average. So it was the 14th warmest summer when you just look at the daily minimum temperatures, and this makes it our warmest summer for those overnight lows since 1995. This will go into the record books as the second wettest summer on record, including, of course, the wettest August on record. And humidity-wise, yeah, it was very muggy. Second most humid summer on record for our area, the most humid since the number 1 summer back in 1995. It's no coincidence that this was the second most humid and the most humid since 1995, and 1995 is also the last time we had nights as warm as we had this summer. A lot of humidity means the temperature doesn't fall much at night. All right, so on the list of wettest summer seasons, of course, I just mentioned we're going to finish in second place. If we had a little more rain today, we would have finished in first. We only needed 0.22 in the rain gauge today. We're going to fall a little short, but very close to 1986. And notice all the recent years on this list of wettest summers. This year, 2003, 2019, and 2015. So 4 of the top 10 have occurred in the 21st century. All right, temperature-wise, I mentioned last year and this year pretty much identical when you factor in both the highs and the lows, and very similar to 2018 and 2016. Even though 2017 and 2019 weren't quite as hot, they were still above average, so we've now had 6 consecutive warmer than average summers, and 9 of the last 12 have been warmer than average, and then you go back even further than that, and 13 of the last, let's do my math, 13 of the last 16, 13 of the last 17 have been warmer than the average. We've had some warm summers since the turn of the century. All right, looking ahead to September, I'm just going to do the September outlook this evening because I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long. Looking at September, it's kind of an interesting forecast. You see a lot of blank on this map. Not much blue, not much orange. A lot of variation in terms of the patterns that we're going to experience in the month of September. I kind of suspect that the first 10 days, maybe even 2 weeks of the month, will be at or even cooler than average. It'll be kind of a contrast to how August finished, and kind of a welcome change for a lot of us. I think if we see a more prolonged period of warmer than average temperatures, it's going to be during the second half of the month. Some of our longer range models are showing that idea. And so it might come out in the wash as pretty close to average, but highest chances of a pretty toasty stretch compared to average maybe later in the month. Now this map looks a little weird, right? Usually you don't see these really dark greens on a monthly outlook. Well, this is because tomorrow's September 1st, and some parts of the Mid-Atlantic are going to get 5 to 10 inches of rain tomorrow, making it a lead pipe cinch that they're going to end up with a wetter than average September. So the overall September outlook is definitely influenced by what's going to happen on the very first day of the month across the Mid-Atlantic region. For us, because we're not going to see quite as much rain, or not nearly as much rain, I should say, as the Mid-Atlantic states, it's kind of a tougher call as far as the precipitation outlook for the month of September. All right, let's take a look at what's happened over the last 24 hours and then start talking about the future. And our rain gauge network, some pretty modest totals on the local rain gauges with some showers that we had earlier on. But outside of our rain gauge network, some Doppler radar estimates here of some pretty decent numbers. We had some downpours earlier in Columbiana County. So Lisbon over to Elk Run, an inch or so estimated by the radar in a few spots. Once you get closer to the Carroll County line, back towards Summitville and Salineville, and then heading over towards Carrollton, definitely some hefty downpours earlier on. But overall, the highest rainfall totals today, closer to I-70, closer to Steubenville and down towards Wheeling, and then over to Pittsburgh. We've had a variation of different flood advisories and flash flood warnings for eastern Ohio, the panhandle of West Virginia, and western PA as well. As of 7:07, there's not much out there this evening in our TV viewing area. A couple of showers, a couple of sprinkles, that is about it. Heavier rain should stay off to our south for the time being. Now this, of course, is the remnant circulation of Ida, still over the Tennessee Valley. It's taking its sweet time, but it's going to start accelerating north and east and bring a whole lot of rain to some places. And this could be a pretty serious flooding situation that unfolds across the mid-Atlantic states over the next 24 hours. Flash flood watches extend from extreme northeastern Alabama all the way to Boston. A lot of real estate covered by flash flood watches. And a couple of hours ago, the Weather Service in Pittsburgh did extend their existing flash flood watch a little farther to the north to catch in our viewing area, Columbiana County. Overall, the highest rainfall totals will be in central and eastern PA, parts of New Jersey, the Hudson Valley in New York, and up into southern New England. Boy, out towards Altoona, and then especially out towards Williamsport and Selinsgrove and Altoona, or I should say Allentown, and the Reading area in eastern PA, up into the Pocono Mountains, the Catskill Mountains in southeast New York. This could be, a pretty bad situation with 5 to 10 inches worth of rain in some spots. And amounts get quite a bit lower, of course, as you head off to the north and west. And so we're really in a tight gradient here. I mentioned this last evening. It's a good thing this isn't a snowstorm, or this would be we talk about a high-pressure forecast with such a tight gradient across our TV viewing area. I'm going to show you the same graphics I showed you last evening as far as the computer models go. And this is for kind of the middle of our viewing area. So Warren to Youngstown and everywhere kind of in that vicinity. A couple of our models show about a half an inch. A lot of our models are down closer to a quarter of an inch in that corridor, kind of Warren, Austintown, Boardman, Youngstown, kind of the middle of our viewing area. But the farther south and east you go, the higher the totals are going to be. So you go down towards East Liverpool, and our models are all advertising between an inch and a half worth of rain out of this. So there's going to be a gradient. Inch, maybe even a little more, in extreme southeastern Columbiana County, and then little or nothing once you're off to the northwest towards Southington and Mesopotamia and maybe even Craig Beach, places like that, kind of in the northwestern corner of our TV viewing area. Don't expect a whole lot of rain out of this. The good news is, if you have outdoor plans on Wednesday, especially later in the day, if you're heading to the first evening of the Canfield Fair, the weather's going to improve. I mean, the rain's going to taper off by lunchtime. The sun's going to come out before the afternoon is through. The humidity is going to start dropping. The air is going to start drying out with that northeast wind. Should be a fantastic evening. And then, boy, talk about fantastic. This is a top 10 kind of weather day coming our way Thursday with bright blue skies. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Dew points as low as we haven't seen in a few weeks. And just positively delightful on Thursday. Few high fair weather clouds get in the mix on Friday, but this is still a nice day. And, dew points bottoming out in the 40s means overnight temperatures Thursday night and Friday morning might be in the upper 40s in some places. As far as rain chances go for the duration of the Canfield Fair, we're bone dry Thursday and Friday and into Saturday. Saturday night into Sunday, probably a couple of showers around. And there might be a stray shower into Sunday night and into Labor Day on Monday, but I'm not looking for a lot of thunder and lightning at this point. Not looking for any sort of washout. So compared to a lot of years, yeah, this year's Canfield Fair overall is a winner weather-wise. All right, long video tonight. Again, we're going to save the overall fall outlook, September, October, November, for tomorrow evening when we have a little less to talk about. In the meantime, thanks for watching tonight, and I will hope to see you back here on Tuesday.